Now, let me get into the situation, right? After seeing The Rise of Skywalker, there was one there was one power that I couldn't quite point my finger on why it was in this movie and why it was not in the rest of the whole shows. Movies, cartoons, comics, everything. It's called this Force Heal. The first person to put it into canon, I would say Baby Yoda. People would say the child. But my theory is, from episode 1 in The Phantom Menace, right? This is about 10 to 11 movies that there's no Force Heal. But out of nowhere, Rey can do a Force Heal. Because Rey's a Palpatine? So you're telling me Qui Gon Jinn, the one person that went against the Jedi Order, the one person that said, fuck these niggas, I want Anakin to be a Jedi, I want this to happen, oh, he has a higher midichlorian than Baby Yoda, did not know how to Force Heal? Or he kept it from Obi-Wan? That's what you're telling me? So basically, Qui-Gon Jinn caused the whole fucking Star Wars? Now, you caused this so that basically this guy right here would be created, right? Vader, right? Makes sense, because Vader was the original badass. He's still the most baddest person in cinematics. But still, bro, JJ, what are you doing? You changed the whole Star Wars lore. Do you guys have no respect for what we learned in the 1977? Or 1970s, whichever way you want to spit it? Now, Rey was a Palpatine. Now, this is the big theory that everybody wants to understand why she said Skywalker. Right? Number one, I agree with Angry Joe, Star Wars theory, and half of the people that do say this. She said that she's Rey Skywalker so that the lady wouldn't get scared because everybody knew who Palpatine was. They all know he was the Emperor, he was Darth Sidious after the rise and fall of the Empire. Okay, so she said she's Skywalker. But did anybody take into consideration that Skywalker might be the new way of the Jedi, saying that they could now love? Because Jedi could love and do everything, right, before episode 2, just so Vader could be made. Do you understand what's going on now? They're just trying to explain how Vader was made and now trying to say that Palpatine is creating generations. And they're just trying to extend it. But basically with the Force Heal shit, you screwed up the whole Anakin fucking, his whole fucking lore, this whole fucking story. Because now, if there was Force Heal, Padme would have never died, he would have never have turned, and there would have never been distrust. The only distrust would have been Dave Filoni's character, which is Ahsoka, when she left the Jedi Order. That's distrust the first time. And Anakin said it too in the last episode of season, I forgot, 3 or 4, when Ahsoka left the Jedi Order. He said, you don't know how many times I thought about leaving the Jedi Order myself. Boom. So now I think the only predecessors to pick up this actual Star Wars thing would be Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. Fuck J.J. Abrams and this whole sequel trilogy.
So I have a question for you. Why do you say that Qui-Gon is responsible for everything?
The reason why I say Qui-Gon is responsible for everything because Qui-Gon had to be Qui-Gon was the first one to know how to become a Force Ghost, a Force entity. Let me explain that to you. Because there was no such thing as Force Ghost until about what was it? Empire Strikes Back. That's where Force Ghost came out, because the first Force Ghost was Obi-Wan, when he came out to tell Luke, listen to Yoda. Before that, in episode 4, or original Star Wars, he was a Force entity that said, run, Luke, run! Just like how Qui-Gon came and said to Obi-Wan and Yoda, I've learned the path to immortality in Revenge of the Sith, and Yoda said I could communicate with you guys, and Obi-Wan's like, who? Qui-Gon. Wasn't that Ian McGregor's face?
Okay, so are you basically stating that Qui-Gon should have taught Obi-Wan how to Force Heal?
If Qui-Gon would have taught Obi-Wan how to Force Heal with the same fucking stab wound to the gut that Kylo Ren had when Rey saved him on the Death Star, the destroyed Death Star. That's the same way how Qui-Gon died. And if Obi-Wan was to know that, Obi-Wan would have Force Healed him. Ergo, knowing Force Heal, he would have still passed his Jedi trials. became a Jedi, probably would have took Ahsoka as his own Padawan, and then Anakin would have never had a Padawan. He would have been under freaking Qui-Gon. He would have knew how to force heal. He would have never Qui-Gon would have been like, yeah, you could love Padme. I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, love is love. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, Obi-Wan was in love with Duchess Satine, and he already said it in Clone Wars that the minute you would have told me, I would have left the Jedi Order. Jedi do love people, but they give up their love for the Order. So you're giving up things you love for what? So you're telling me Palpatine could run around making granddaughters and freaking God knows what, and Anakin couldn't do shit because he was a Jedi? So how is Jedi's actually created? No, it's not Jedi's. How are the Jedi actually created? Because the midi-chlorians and the Force chooses you? So it can't be passed down through generations, but that's bullshit because it's just been proven with Palpatine that it skipped a generation. Or that's probably just what they're telling us. God only knows. The homeboy from the Mandalorian, homeboy that's the scientist from the Mandalorian could be Rey's father, and we don't even know it. He dropped her off at Jakku and went back to Kamino to stay in hiding because he's the only Kamoan that's humanoid. But guys, I could keep going on and on all day about Star Wars theories and everything. But I just want y'all to take this one last thing into consideration. Now, they say Jedi cannot use Force lightning. Highly incorrect. Jedi are forbidden to use it. Right? Because there's one person, there's actually two people that can actually do Force healing, and they are Jedi. Yoda, because he can actually disintegrate it. We've seen it in episode 2 against Dooku. Our this contest cannot be won by our knowledge of the Force, but by our knowledge of the saber, boom, and a lightsaber force, right? Another person, shout out to Bessie. Look him up. My homeboy said how Plo Koon actually used Force lightning in canon. Now it's considered legends. But anyway, Plo Koon was the only Jedi to have what? An orange lightsaber. What does Rey have? An orange lightsaber. And an orange lightsaber really means you're a sentinel. A blue lightsaber means you're a guardian. Well, no, not a guardian or something like that. But it really means lightsaber tactics. Like you're good with a lightsaber, right? And green is basically the people that's good with the Force. Now, if you're potentially gonna be now Mace Windu, here's where the purple lightsaber come in. It's not because Mace fucking Samuel L. Jackson said he wanted to be different. It's actually because Mace Windu could tap into the power of the dark side and stay within the light. Blue and red make what? Purple. That's why he's the only entity that could block Force lightning. That's why Rey could do everything in freaking Rise of Skywalker, because they all went into her. Just like how Palpatine, all the Sith in me as all the Jedi are in you. What you think is really gonna happen? Boop. And the only reason why Palpatine actually died, right, is because just like in Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, he was about to die from Windu. I'm weak. The minute he cut off his hand and he can't block the Force lightning back onto Sidious, boom, there you go. Because Sidious didn't have power to shock Windu and kill him. Now, to kill Rey, he went full power.
So, what you're basically stating is that everything is Qui-Gon's fault. And that if he had taught...
Everything is the fault of the Jedi.
Okay.
Because Qui-Gon knew what to do. Obviously, Qui-Gon knew what to do. That's why he became a Force entity. Yeah,
but he didn't teach that to Obi-Wan.
Yes, he did teach it to
Obi-Wan experienced...
No, the pain, the loss, the suffering, the hatred.
And then he passed that down to Anakin.
No, he didn't pass it down to Anakin. He was just mean to Anakin.
Yes, but him being mean to Anakin, didn't that have an effect as Anakin as a Jedi?
Yes, and also what I'm trying to come to you and tell you right now, it wasn't only Obi-Wan's... Obi-Wan never distrusted him. Obi-Wan always believed in him. It was because Windu distrusted him. They didn't put him on the council. And then he went to side with the Jedi Order against his own Padawan. So his Padawan turned on him. The people that he went to turn on his own Padawan for distrust him. Think about that as a person. The people you working for the freaking FBI or you working for Trump and you telling Trump what's going on and Trump is like, nah, nigga, I don't trust you still. But by you telling me this, if it checks out, you gain my trust. But meanwhile, you just made me fire my right hand because of what you told me because I trust you more than you trust me. Come on, bro. It made him snap. And the one thing that he only wanted to do was protect the ones he loved. Now, if he did no force heal, his mother would have never died.
He would have never experienced that pain.
He would never experienced ultimate loss, ultimate pain, ultimate suffering.
Doesn't that make and conclude that Qui-Gon was just selfish then? Because he should have taught Obi-Wan how to force
No,
heal.
because at the end of the day, as I said, if he would have taught Obi-Wan, then Vader wouldn't have been created. Vader was created before that Qui-Gon was. You get what I'm saying? It was all about A New Hope and Vader. So everybody wanted to see how Vader became Vader. And you gave us a whiny bitch. Mm-hmm. So now to make the whiny bitch look like Vader, and they made a whiny bitch turn into a gangster over the Clone Wars, a fucking mass murdering machine, a military commander, and then all of a sudden in Revenge of the Sith, he could fucking just mollywop everybody left, right, and center. The niggas lifting up foundlings, younglings, whatever the hell you want to call them, Gungans, with one hand and blocking everything. Like, when the fuck was he taught that, bro? Within a split second of cutting off Mace Windu's hand, your ultimate Sith, nigga? Then he has the right, they give him the right in the movie to give him Sith eyes. But then he dies with regular eyes. Then he has Sith eyes through one portion of the movie. Then when he's fighting Obi-Wan and he's talking to Padme, his eyes is regularly brown. Bro. You fucked up this nigga. You fucked up this nigga, this nigga, this nigga, this nigga, this nigga. Even the stormtroopers you fucked up. My nigga, how you make Sith troopers? Where the fuck did these Sith trooper niggas come from? And they can't even shoot better than the Fourth Order. They can't even shoot better than the First Order.
All right, we're going to wrap this up. Is there anything else you want to say?
Have a happy new year. Hopefully, Dave Filoni, you fix this bullshit with Ahsoka. One of my favorite characters, to let y'all know. And hopefully she saves our universe. Because remember, Ahsoka, Ezra, Thrawn, Sabine, Hera, that whole ghost crew is still alive.
Oh, one more thing. Since you brought up Sabine. Who do you think is the Mandalorian forger?
I have two theories. It's either Sabine or it's Duchess's sister. The reason why I say either Sabine or Duchess's sister, or it could be Sabine's mom's. Because she has an all-gold Mandalorian helmet. All-gold Mandalorian helmets usually mean royalty, right? Who is the most royal person within Mandalore at the time of the fall of the Empire or Rise of the Empire? Let's not go into Legends and Jango Fett and nothing we've seen, only what we've seen in Clone Wars. Fuck Crown Vizsla, fuck Death Watch, has nothing to do with it at this moment. As far as them taking control from Maul. Who is that? Not Po-Katan or whatever her name is, Duchess's sister. She had the Darksaber, right? And who gave her the Darksaber? Not Sabine. And who is Sabine's mother? Not the leader of Clan Ren? Or one of them? I forgot what. Sabine. What, yeah, Clan Ren, Sabine Wren, right?
Well, that's interesting. All right. Well, that's enough questions for today.
Oh, hold on. To counteract that story, the only reason why I would say that it would be her is because she lost to Moff Gideon, and Moff Gideon thought he killed her, but probably scarred her face, and she wears that shit and doesn't take it off, because they did in Rebels take off their helmets when they were on actual Mandalore. But that's on that planet. That's not on any other planet. So let's not get into Mandalore facts.
Okay. So
enjoy your 2020, and hopefully you like the rise of blood pressure more than me.
All right.
Later, guys.